Is this the same Kevin that I know? Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Hey, hey, hey. How are you? How are you? What's up? All right, so this evening we have our live interview with Alicia Buckmire. This is going to be the last in the series of interviews that we were having with the AMPLIFY Creative Social Enterprise Fellowship and Accelerator. So we are here to wrap up the series and learn a little bit more about the last fellow on the list. So we're just gonna wait a little bit for her to come in the chat, and we will get started. Right now, in the meantime, let me speak a little bit on what it is, how you can support. Right now we're at East Yard, and things you should know about the fellowship. We have 12 persons in the fellowship and the accelerator. Right, we have 5 accelerators, and the accelerators are just people who are a little older, who already have established businesses but still need a little help getting to the next level, and to really hone in on that term that we're using pretty frequently on here, which is having your social enterprise. Right, so I think we'll be wrapping up the program itself in November, but there are going to be a lot of different activities being done either here at ECR or different locations where you will get a chance to interact with the different fellows, their social enterprises, and whatever social products or services that they're offering to feed back into their social enterprises. So let me see if I get Alicia here. The name of her business is called Amplified Events. The name of her business is called Amplified Events Essentials, and very, very exciting stuff. So we're gonna give her a chance to come on so she could tell us a little bit more about it. I can't spoil all the goodness before, she jumps on. She has to tell us, right? So today we're actually having our open day. So every Saturday we have the open day at ECR, where if you're in the area, if you're in the Arima area, we're located on 27 Prince Street. You can literally come up to ECR and browse, see what's going on. There's art on the wall. There are stuff on sale, clothes on sale, jewelry on sale. You could talk to Kevin. He's gonna be here. The team is going to be here, so I'm also going to be here, and find out how you could get involved, how you could get support. Maybe you want to collaborate with us, right? You will be free to do that. So we're here today, and usually the open days are from 10 to 5. So at any point in time, you could come. You don't need an appointment. You could just walk in and see what the vibe is. All right. I'm trying to get Alicia. Let me try again. Yes. Don't go anywhere. We here for the next couple of minutes. All right. She's here. Yeah. Right. Alicia, are you having any problems getting to come onto the live? You can send a request to me as well. Yeah, because I'm trying to send a request to you, but I'm not sure if you're getting them. So you should see your requests coming where you see that little record, like a camera record with the plus button. Yeah, let me try that again. So send me a request that way, because I'm sending you and it's saying you're unable to join. Right, so as soon as Alicia gets to come on, we'll start the interview. Um, in the meantime, feel free to shoot any questions that you all may have. You all got to look at 11 other interviews. Um, tell me what, I don't know if anybody here was there for all of them. All right, so we have Alicia. We'll start the interview. Um, in the meantime, all right. You'll got to look at 11 other interviews. Everything's good there, Alicia. You hearing me clearly? You hearing me?
1 second. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing me and you.
All right, 1 second.
All right.
Right.
All right. Everything good, right?
I believe so.
I hope you're not nervous. I see you dressed
But
up. You did the
I'm sweating
hair.
bullets here.
You did the little
I'm
makeup.
sweating bullets.
Now it's gonna be an easy
Trying to
interview. We're just gonna be chatting a little bit about you, eh? You know, I hope you're not sweating because you're nervous and it's just because you're
what?
hot.
Right.
Right. Beautiful. So I'm gonna jump straight into it. Now you do a lot, and I want you to give us a little bit of a bio on yourself, right? So this is the opportunity for you to talk a little bit about what you do. I already told them before you came on that the name of your company is Amplified Events Essentials. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Well, Amplified Event Essentials actually started last year, January. Um, and basically, Amplified Events Essentials is a children inclusive party planning company. Um, we specialize in face painting, balloon twisting workshops, um, as well as finger foods catered to children and children inclusive events.
Okay. And you said 2024, so what is it that you were doing it before that and you only kind of got registered last year, or what exactly happened?
Right, correct. So I would have started about 14 years ago with a
Oh,
dream
yeah.
and some basic pains. I would have been let go of my then employment, and I needed something to do, and my sister knew that I had a knack for like creativity and I was dabbling in something, and she's like, why not? She told at that time my niece was going to a preschool. She's like, I'm going to arrange for you for Christmas. Go down the road, charge them $5 and do something. And so I said, let me practice on my niece. So she started and I did a little Christmas tree with some presents, rough thing. And we went down to the Christmas party. And there was somebody there already with the Bouncy Castle company doing painting already. And I was like, well, I wouldn't bother again because it's free. And I wouldn't encroach on it now. I'm
Yeah.
seeing as another experience that I just say, all right. But when they saw my niece's little Christmas tree, all her friends, she just had them toe in the line, and everybody then come and wipe off their paint and Auntie, I want to paint too. And that was the catalyst, everything. And just so
Yeah.
happened the guy from the company was like, are you doing anything for the rest of the Christmas? And I was like, no. And so special thanks to that opportunity that opened the floodgates, I would say, to where I am now.
Beautiful. Now, some people, and by some people I mean me, based on your bio, would
Right.
refer to you as a hustler, right? Right? Some people by me, because from small you said you were selling sapodilla and mango chow and hosting your little small events and stuff. So, what exactly from that young age inspired you to get into entrepreneurship?
Well, growing up, not really with the financial means, you become creative, you become innovative from quite young. I actually never, fun fact, I never got a Barbie doll, which I always wanted until I was like 11, and it wasn't even a Barbie doll. I think she name was Wendy. But um, we used to play with matchstick. Man, we used to make foil clothes with matchsticks and do boat racing with the neighbors in the
Yeah,
drain. And so that was, I think, my foot into fashion designing, I guess. And then
yeah.
from there, the mud pies, we had a lot of shadow belly growing in the yard, and I didn't appreciate shadow belly then. And I used to make shadow belly mud pies. And from there, I moved on. Well, we get had a mango tree in the yard and shadow belly, and then couple cloves of garlic, and I was like, why not? When I needed something, why not sell to my friends? Why not sell to the neighbors? And
Yeah.
that's how that momentum garnered. I always had that busy hands, creative thoughts. What if, what if, what if?
All right. So it seems like both two things were born out of, the lack of certain essentials, the creativity, but also the just the innovation, thinking about ways in which you could fill those gaps, right?
Correct,
Um,
correct.
are you still bringing some of that energy, that problem solving, trying to figure it out, fill the gap energy to your work today?
Of course, it never stopped. It carries with me until, that's why I think I like the idea of like childhood or childlike wonder. I still get to play with glitter. I love I love sparkles. I love, everything that is, you know, beautiful in the world, And why not live it, or why not be passionate and grow it and nurture it every day?
Yeah. You also spoke about I think you did costume in the early 2000s. Now, we need to talk personally about how long you're really doing this thing. Maybe you could tell us because when you said in the 2000 you were doing costume design, I'm like,
Mhm.
but how old is this woman? You know? So tell us a
I'm
little bit
41.
about
I'm
the
41 years.
Oh wow, 41 years young. 41 years now. Yeah, so
Okay.
tell us a little bit about that. How you got into the costume designing and what was the experience working with the is Marceline band, the masquerade band?
Yes, Miss
Yeah.
Marceline Alexander, rest her soul. My father, I should also say that my father was an amazing, unrecognized artist, but he did all the paintings in our childhood home. He His calligraphy was out of this world. He passed in 2020.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, and but his, I thought I had not a creative bone in my body. The only thing I think I could have done well was like paint a bowl of fruits and a house. That was my go-to two main things I would toggle with and get good at and perfect. But my father was an amazing artist. So, sorry, I lost my chain of thought. Reflecting on that he was supportive in ways, especially in the creative realm. He will always be like, come, do this so and do that so. So my neighbors would have recommended my dad to the Miss Maslin, and she was working, operating out of Lockett North at the time, my alma mater, and he had to do fruit cocktail was the first presentation, and he hand painted the fruit standards. He did standards. He gave the suggestion of the standard and painted out of cardboard. He get cardboard from the groceries, and the paint and the glitter, and I was in the process, in the midst of it, sprinkling the glitter, planing the glitter, doing the accents, and that was it. From there, he did another year with them, and that was it. I was in love with designing and costumes. So when I got older, Miss Marston was still doing it, and I was like, Miss Marston, I have a design. I want to try something.
Yeah.
And I worked with her the first couple of years under her, and then I said, I have a design, and I presented it, and she's like, let's do it. Let's do it. And I raised enough funds to get a serger for her, and she had her industrial machine, and we went at it. I had a grandiose idea of using sign language to say I love you, peace, and that kind of thing, signs. And I wanted to replicate it with the standards using foam to form the American Sign Language for these words. But it was a mini band, but I was proud.
Beautiful. And are you still involved in mask making or carnival? Like, what is your involvement now?
My involvement now is actually just on the outskirts. I would come out for like Kiddies Carnival. I used to go to all the major carnivals throughout Trinidad, Kiddies Carnival, but 114 Day was another one. And from when I went to Point 14 Day, I feel like a big dancer now. That now started in the days. I went Point 14 Day. I had some friends down there. Shout out to Lisa, shout out to Nicole. And I had a 100-foot cord. And I had a compressor, I got an airbrush machine, I upgraded myself, I did some research, I started looking into YouTube because all this is self-taught.
Right.
And I was like, carnival is an expensive undertaking. I want to earn money. I try and spend. So, and spending would be investing towards returns. So that's how I went out on the road. I had to ask different bars, the DJ, for a plug-in for my compressor to get a chucky so I can get some juice there, That's how I was very, and they would oblige. And, I just put out my little sign, put out a little table. Sometimes I have a table, I have a little carpet because I'm traveling all this time. So I have a million bags, suitcase, and I mastered the art of getting belts and strapping on everything. I worked. Worked. So I was on the outside of carnival in the sense of still, assisting the masqueraders and spectators. So, especially the spectators were actually my bigger crowd because, they on the outside, the children on the curb, and they have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And the parents would say, sit down and do your face. And that's what it has been up till now.
Okay. Now, what's crazy for me is that Amplified Events Essentials does quite a lot, right? So the list I have here is face painting, balloon twisting, you do balloon workshops, you do specialty boutiques. You can describe what that is a little bit for us. Event decor, you do a little bit of catering, you do prints as well. Is it that you are doing all of this yourself, or do you have like a team of people who, this person does this and this person does that? What does that workflow look like for you?
I am a one man show. Well, a solo entrepreneur. But however, I have collaborated. And
Okay.
collaboration is not competition. So outsourcing, for let's say bigger events, larger events, I would get, face painters on board. I will get a balloon twister to shout out to JB Concept, shout out to Mr. Acton Villa Farmer. We recently collaborated on the first ever balloon costume stitch, and we
Right.
presented it at Movie Talk. So it was a collaboration with Fun for All and myself. So that was done amazingly. I was proud of myself and proud of the team. So collaboration is how I get the dream to work. But most of the time it's me blowing up, shining. I just give myself the time frame, like a 4 hour, like depending on the
Yeah.
size of the job. If it's need to split up into 2 days, or just like even I'm not afraid to work throughout the night into the morning. It gets
Mm-hmm.
done.
Now, as a entrepreneur, a lot of the time, all of us, that is not new to us, the fact that you kind of wear all of the hats. So not only are you doing all of these things I just listed, but you're responsible for the marketing and the trying to make connections. Like you're doing everything. Which one
Yeah.
of the things do you think you enjoy the most or you're better at?
I think I'm better just going out and doing what I love.
Yeah.
The thing, like, the probably the which most creators I think have an issue is probably getting their books,
The ducks in
but
a
other
row.
than,
Yeah.
yeah, getting their books in order, but other than that, it's just going out there, exploring my passion and actually doing what I love, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay, so we're talking about impact now, where especially with the fellowship, doing work that has a social impact is one of the most important parts of the fellowship, because without that, well, you just have a business, right? Without the social impact aspect, it's just a business. You can't call yourself a social creative enterprise, right? um, what social impact is amplified making?
Well, this was something that I would say struggle with, because while yes, I'm doing face painting, yes, I always kind of had a second question in myself: what is my purpose? What is the purpose of this? How
Yeah,
can I have I impacted? Have I done anything to change any lives,
yeah,
or influence anybody? And I sat with myself, I even explored. I have to thank Miss Kizzy Lee. It's a real name dropping, because I have to, I've actually got the opportunity to really thank certain people as well in this
yeah,
interview. It's not only me, it's not amplified, it's really amplified, made larger
yeah,
by the help and assistance of people. So, Miss
yeah,
Kizzy and the Gibbs of Freedom to Rise, our NGO, I met her about 2 years ago, and her influence, she had me a brochure and I saw purpose, and I was like, what is, again, toying with this idea, is this making sense? What I'm doing, just going in parties and slapping on paint. That was, then and then,
yeah,
sat down and really thought about it. And children, this is our escapism sometimes, because not every child's childhood is perfect,
mm-hmm,
and they would be experiencing some dark things that you and I may have never experienced or would have.
yeah,
And that, and we didn't have, well, I didn't have back in my days, we didn't have face painting like that growing up, right?
yeah,
And they sit in my chair, whether it is for a minute, 5 minutes, depending on the design, the intricate nature of the design,
yeah,
or the bulb. they stand there and they are in awe, and that's their escape. I have probably impacted them. They would be like, sometimes I'm time in the grocery, look the balloon lady,
Yeah.
look the lady with her face, and they would remind me
Yeah.
of that. So from that now, I still needed, so I was satisfied to a point, but still, how am I impacting? What can I do to really still make a difference? And now we're seeing a lot of bullying coming to the forefront or being
Yeah.
highlighted even more in the
Yeah.
media. And I am like, I need to do something about this. I
Yeah.
need to know how I can be of assistance to the nation children, especially the primary school age, those
Mm-hmm.
formative years. They will then grow up to be adults, but what impact can I make at that juncture? So,
Yeah.
Amplify Kevin Codringham and Amplify this capacity building program came so timely, and
Yeah.
I always like I followed Amplified. I attended a function or decorated a function at ECR once and had the privilege of meeting him. He complimented my flyers and presentation or put out for the program that we were having there with the NGO, Freedom to Rise. And then when I saw the advertisement come out and amplified,
Yeah.
you know, my
Yeah.
finger
Yeah.
that sinking. And when I was like, okay, let's get on it. So with the help of that little workshop that we had, that coming together, I still didn't have my position yet. I get it the way I get it. I still didn't have quite a deep purpose yet. And within sitting to understand and developing that business, that canvas, that social
The
canvas,
canvas model, yeah.
yes, that model, I came up with PUMP. PUMP, meaning promoting understanding, mindfulness, and positivity. So
Mm-hmm.
it will be through the use of balloon-centered activities
Yeah.
to help,
Yeah.
that send out that raise awareness to anti-bullying,
Yeah.
so inclusivity and acceptance of each other. You know.
Yeah. Pump, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, you know.
Now,
I pump in. I pump in.
um,
Can you describe your I see some balloons in the back of you. When I hear without seeing, right? When I hear, you know, someone who dabbles in balloons, I think, the cartoons with the little balloon dog. Can you describe a little bit of what your craft looks like? I know we've seen some of the decorations in the back, but I feel like it's a very broad, yeah,
right? So there's the standard balloon decor, where you can work for like weddings, graduations, and then there's the twisted designs that uses the modeling balloons to shape figurines and
yeah,
action characters and stuff. So I more lean towards the twisting because
yeah,
I believe it has a lot of versatility. Balloons can be modeled and shaped into anything. I've done dresses with outer balloons and other and other arts, that was one of my art. My art didn't want to be different, and I've done designs out of balloons that, so I want to always push the envelope where decor is concerned on balloon designs.
yeah, and this is completely self-taught, and that's amazing. I commend you for
Yeah,
not just, you seem like somebody who keeps learning and keeps trying to see how you could push the bounds and stay current. So that is great. Um, is there anything specifically that you know, since we had the program so far that really stood out for you and was like a aha moment besides
well,
pump?
aside from, well, meeting everybody else, the creators that are in, and the possibility of networking and collaboration, I am excited. I know, we are the cusp of something, but I guess we have to first kind of understand where we are positioning ourselves, and then we can
Yeah.
invite each other in to collaborate with each other. But I've done already seeing Mr. Ibis, Mr. Isaac, I've seen collaborations with Mr. Richard, Denise, even you, Nicole, Alicia. I'm excited, Jonathan, everybody,
Yeah.
everybody.
And well, you
I'm just
answered
popping
so
tags.
you answered so many of my questions already. Um, what is one thing you think that keeps you going?
Um, Knowing that, well, having a faith and belief, that's one. And understanding, well, until that time is done, my work is not yet done. Once I have breath in my body,
Yeah,
breath in my lungs, and I still have a mission.
yeah. Um, is there any particular Are there any particular activities that you engage in when you do start to feel stressed and you need to kind of ground yourself?
I like emotion. I haven't been there in a while, but water, any body,
Yeah.
like any mass of water, is very
Okay.
calming. You get back, you reconnect with everything. Unplug but plug in, tap in.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Can you swim?
Yeah, to save my life only.
You're right,
I think
you
so.
know.
I think
Um,
everybody, no shade to anybody, but I think, we live on an island. At least we should be able to do a little float.
yeah, yeah. Actually, I am incapable of floating, but I can swim.
But okay, cool. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Incapable. I've tried. So many people they tried to teach me. I sink. I cannot float. Um,
My strongest stroke is my backstroke.
backstroke.
Yeah.
As a weird stroke to be like your strongest, you know? Like, no wonder why you can't save nobody life, because you can't be like this.
Now you
No. All right, so I'm gonna open up the floor for some questions. Alicia shared so much about her love for her craft and figuring out her purpose and her why. And you could, for me, I could see how much you enjoy what you do, The fact that you came today, balloons on display, face paint on your face, just to kind of show people what you do. I'm very proud. Oh God, don't try on nothing now. Don't try on nothing.
I don't know everything the boss was going on.
So y'all could ask Alicia some questions, um, drop some comments. Um, I'm seeing Scented TNT locked in. Thanks for being here. Are there any questions for Alicia? Feel free to drop it in the comments and I'll read it for her and have her answer. In the meantime, Alicia,
Yeah.
do you have any messages for young persons wanting to dive into this craft that you're doing, this line of business?
And say start scared, just start because you know I didn't I probably did it in reverse, but I still did it. Thank God
Yeah,
for a bit of natural talent. But I didn't think it was talent at that time, but it was something I stuck with and you know just pursued, started with the university or YouTube, another networking again with other persons,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
So just start.
Yeah.
Even if you
And I
don't have any
mean,
support, start
oh, we
still.
are turning to see the we
Support
are turning to see
yourself.
the face. Let's see the face. Could you turn so we could see the face? Wow. Okay. That's cool. That's not like what I used to get as face paint as a child. That's airbrush and thing. That's special high quality type of face paints, you know?
Yes, it's only at Amplify.
Do you see a lot of younger people getting into this this type of business?
Yeah, for sure. Yes. I think people are interested, and especially those persons with it. I would say it's a saturated feeling in the industry. There are new um event companies coming up,
Yeah,
and then they might recruit a family member to twist or to shadow somebody, and then
yeah,
eventually get face it. So yeah, a lot of young people are leaning towards it, thinking that it's easy money or fast money.
yeah. But sometimes you're out in the sun, you know, when you're now starting, you might not have enough money to get everything, and you're kind of on the grind. So, that whole
Yeah,
idea of you saying just start, but I want to add stick with it, because you said you were doing it 14 years, and
yeah,
you only really launched your business per se last year, you know,
yeah.
at 41, right? So at 40, you know,
Yeah,
so it's really, you are a testament to, you know, just staying consistent and sticking with it regardless, you know. Is
yes.
it your full-time job as a entrepreneur, or are you doing like another line of work on the side?
Okay, so currently, and quite candidly, this is my main source of income. Currently, I am also
Yeah.
my mom's full-time caretaker.
Okay.
So, my mommy is my big daughter. So I have to make myself, available and ready for
Hence,
her. But we always exploring the options of, not well, I don't want to say side hustles, kind of, I think water down certain things,
yeah,
but always exploring sources of income.
yeah, yeah. Awesome. I have a question here. Any comments from, I'm not gonna call the name. You all with these Instagram names, you know? I'm not doing it today. Um, Honey asks, do you have any new ideas to be added to Amplify events?
Of course, always, always, but I can't give away everything, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
what is
yeah.
pipeline would be definitely something geared towards the awareness of bullying in
Bullying.
schools, especially primary school aged children. So you can look out for that and support that, spread, raise the awareness with me, and because as a lot of parents can relate, the children may be victims of or are
Yeah,
themselves, and they may want to curb that behavior and foster that camaraderie between their peers, so everybody
yeah.
can really involve at that point to show their support.
Um, Alicia is saying she did it with her sister, and she had a similar business, and she loved making the dogs, especially the flowers. Nice,
Nice.
beautiful. So I guess anybody could, you think anybody could learn to do this? Like how easy
Of
it is?
course, of course. It is once enough, even if you're afraid of balloons, because I actually had the esteemed pleasure for 2 years in a row to do the Java Bonanza workshops, balloon twisting workshops sponsored by Extra Foods.
Yeah,
And I taught over 30 plus people how to do several basic designs
yeah.
in 3 hours.
Wow, okay. All right,
I'm taking them
beautiful.
from, and I'm not just telling them, I'm telling you this is the twist, this is the technique, this
Yeah.
is the name of the twist. And so I'm not half stepping in terms of teaching how it can be done. And I actually would love to meet more persons who are
Who
interested,
want?
because they are, yeah,
Okay. We have another question. Ali asks, where do you see a business in the next 5 years?
okay. Hopefully, employing persons, actually having staff that, that can have a sustainable income and be impacting positively in Trinidad and in the region. Yeah.
Okay.
It's another thing, but I just want to really be that change.
Yeah. And not to mention, hopefully, Pump will be something like a brand that people are very, very familiar with. And, yeah. I have three
Yes,
more bonus questions for you. All right.
sure,
Just three. Um,
sure.
let me get these questions. So, if Amplified had to be a song, what song would Amplified be?
Of course, I'll be fine. Might be phone and blondes. What's going on? It's not that I am, everything is always not together, but the times that they are, it's amazing. But we always
Yeah.
have to question what's going on.
What is my second one is if you could design one event, no budget, no limits, what would it look like?
Oh boy, but definitely children centered. Um, Also, actually, I like the idea of a lot of parents never bouncing a mouse castle.
Yeah,
They always want to, but this stigma of even coming to face painting or getting a balloon done, they kind of come with a little men and women. They will be getting a dog for my son or getting a flower for your daughter, but they want it for themselves. They want to put it
yeah,
on their hand.
yeah, yeah,
So reimagine that childlike wonder in people.
yeah,
We are a little too uptight, with a lot is going on in the world. We know. And I'm not saying to nullify anything, but we need that little to feel like, oh, I wish I was a child again kind of vibe,
yeah,
but
yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, yeah.
experience a childlike wonder. Look, release your inhibitions a little bit in a healthy way.
Yeah,
So that event geared towards everybody.
yeah,
Have the bouncy castle. Eat some snow cone,
yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
some
Get your face
popcorn,
painted. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
get
yeah,
a pony ride, that
yeah.
kind of event.
So Kevin said play therapy for adults.
Correct. Yeah, we need
Yeah,
it. We need it. A lot is going on. We have so much. We so uptight sometimes.
yeah,
We need to just, in a healthy way, we have
yeah.
outlets to think, but it's not always healthy. So healthy ways to play.
That's something I definitely always talk about with my friends like that ability to play as adults, to
Yes.
not be afraid to look silly and goofy and just do things that usually people would say is, for children, 'cause I would dig jumping in a bouncy castle. I
I've
would
done it.
actually
I've done it.
go on
When
some
nobody
rats.
was watching. It's a good routine. It might be a little dangerous for the knees at my age, but but I think once you have the ability again, because I watch it from the perspective of I've seen it in parties, children parties. Sometimes the children don't want to get their face painted. the parents, and then somebody come, yes, I get too big for that, but only low, they're ready secretly, like, I
For
wasn't
sure.
people since I know how,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then that same person will come back around and say, but I thought you told me too big, hush now, and that's how bad for the school
Yeah,
and they're like, this is the first time I'm doing it. I say, well, I have to pop your face paint and cherry this kind of way, and make it
yeah.
like conversation and make people laugh. And I think, you know, every day is not sunshine and roses, but I do get to smile, especially when I'm out there. I'm doing what I really love and enjoy.
Yeah,
And then getting to share that with people and then getting poured back into, being, when they see themselves in the mirror, they, oh my gosh, and they take it in a
yeah.
selfie and post it. So that's a game over my job.
All right, and my last question is, you are stranded on an island and you can only bring three things. One book, right? One tool and one Trini dish. What are those things?
But one book, one, two,
Hmm.
wow.
And you're not allowed to say the Bible, like that's a cheat.
Yeah, yeah. So it will be probably survival for dummies. Um, the tool will probably be multi tool like machete with the sword in the back because I like to watch like Naked and Afraid and stuff, so I actually see them do that kind of thing too. But right, so the tool, book,
Trini
and
dish.
what was the other thing?
Trini
Sorry,
dish.
Trini dish. Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
oh boy, there's so many, everything dancing in my head right now. What
But what's your
Trini dish?
favorite?
I'm
What's your favorite dish?
I'm a foodie, and
You like everything? No man, you must have a top. You
my
know somebody on the
go-to
top.
it's not chili though. My go okay, probably a roti.
Roti. So if you're on this island for 3 months, you think you could eat roti every day? Ah, you're really thinking about it now, and
Yeah,
yeah.
boy, is that the food that foodie question? Is that not tough question though? And but all the questions, all the hard hitting questions, but then that one stuff,
We'll
that's
take
something.
roti. We'll take roti.
Yeah, take that,
So
take that.
anybody else have any questions and comments? We're looking to wrap the live up now. Anything that you want to tell Alicia? Any questions you want to ask? This is your time, right? In the meantime, I do want to say that, you are an inspiration, Alicia. Just learning about your journey, where you came from to where you are now, and where you're heading, which is very promising. I think that I'm also excited to collaborate. I think our ventures are different, but they could do
They
something
will
like that, you
intersect
know.
somewhere. They will intersect somewhere.
Yeah. They could intersect. And I want to tell the people that listening that, Alicia said she can't tell you all much, but the fact is, and you're all gonna get to hear this early, that each and every one of the fellows are launching their projects, their new products, their new services on the 15th of July. So if you're not following the pages, and I'm not talking about just Alicia or myself, make sure you follow all of the fellows, Jordan, Jonathan, Danae, Alicia times two,
And
um,
it's your times too.
Isaiah, Richard. What names am I forgetting? Richard,
Nicole,
Jordan, Nicole. Follow everyone because that will be the day that you will get to see a little bit more about what they're doing. Of course, we'll post about it on the page here and we're going to tag every one of those
of those businesses so that y'all could support. But some really, really exciting things coming in the next couple of weeks, the next 2 weeks. And I think that Alicia, you are on the right track. And the heart that you're putting into it is one of the key ingredients to being successful moving forward, you know. Let me just read some of the comments here. Well, you're reading some of the comments here. I think you're
Yes, I'm
seeing some
reading
of
some.
them. Yeah, Alana says, keep pushing for your dreams. Well done. Excellent work. Scented Titi has to know you personally. She stayed from start to bottom. She's very proud of you. Um, Honey says business is hard and sometimes we feel like giving up, but keep doing what you do. And she says you sound very, very passionate about it. And I think that that is one of the key ingredients because that's what keeps us going, the passion for what we do. So I want to
Yes,
thank you for coming on today. Thank you for speaking so openly, for showing us a little bit of your work in the back, for telling us a little bit about your history. And I'm excited. I hope you are excited too.
yes, I
Um,
am.
this is the last live, guys. So I think we ended on a real special note.
Hey,
And Alicia, yeah, thanks for being here. Thank you, thank you,
and she
thank
never going
you.
to tell me she's not home, you know.
Huh?
She
No,
tell me she
man.
was home.
Yeah. No, I know you was home. You was just playing. So yeah, that's it for today. Remember, you all can come up to ECR on Saturdays from 8, no, from 8, from 10 to 4. We are here at ECR every Saturday from 10 to 4. And yeah, come and hang out with the team. We have activities as well, workshops and film screenings and things throughout the day. So yeah, looking forward to your work, Alicia. Thank you so much again.
Thank you for
Good
having me. Thank you for
afternoon.
having me. Thank you for everybody that tuned in as well.
Yes. So yes, thank you everyone for popping in, and we will see you all really, really soon. Take care, everyone, and have a good afternoon.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
Alicia.
Thank
Yeah.
you.